I hope everyone has done the activity. Please write in the chat box now. After done this exercise, please count how many H, how many M, how many L you are having. Okay, let me come to the inference now. If you are having more than 6 H, you're having more than 6 H high, then your emotional intelligence is low. If you are having more than 6 L, then your emotional intelligence is high. Okay, so and similarly it is with medium. So accordingly now you need to think, how am I going to improve my emotional intelligence? So let me come back to my slides. So many times we may successful in our life. Right now, today you may be an assistant professor or you may be an associate professor. In future, you may be achieve, you may become a director or you may become a vice chancellor or registrar. You may succeed whatever you want in life. But the emotional intelligence and the ability to engage others and the feelings of understanding and managing, expressing our own is most important. We always need to have. That will help you to sustain your profession and lead to a happy life. When you are becoming a principal to a college, or you may need to handle thousands of students, so at that time you may not take your own decisions or you may not take your own plan without considering or without understanding the emotions and feelings of the students or the co-faculties. So we always need to have an emotional intelligence and ability to understand the others' feelings. And many times this emotional intelligence fuels our performance both in the workplace and our personal life. Okay, suppose you are suddenly entering into a classroom and the students are not respecting you or not valuing you, and you feel that no one is listening to me. If you're not able to manage your own emotions at that point of time, you may not able to continue with your own profession, right? So controlling or managing the emotions always fuels for your performance. And similarly, an example, when you are in your bed, your husband or your spouse may be snoring. You may suddenly get an anchor. If you are not able to manage your own emotions at that point of time, you may not able to continue your life. This is the reason many people, they were not able to manage their own emotions or feelings, even they lead to a divorce. So the emotional intelligence always fuels our performance both in the workplace as well as in the professional life. And similarly, understanding and managing our own emotions can accelerate success in all areas of our life. By having your IQ, you may get a very good life, prosperous life. You may achieve whatever you want in your life. But ultimately, the emotional intelligence only will help you to have a happy life, to enjoy that. Otherwise, if you are having very good life with the support of IQ and you are having a very good wealth and health, and you may not have certain things, you may feel worry, always you may have a sadness. So unless you are not, and in case if your children are more naughty and they were not able to listening to you, that may disturb you. So unless you are not having an emotional intelligence or a EQ, you may not able to have a smoothen life or happy life. So always this emotional intelligence helps you to lead to the happy life. So far we have discussed about what is the personal development or what is emotional development and what is emotional intelligence. Okay, now let us try to understand when this concept was developed. The concept of emotional intelligence or EQ was introduced in the year of 1990. The popular psychologist Mr. Peter and John D. and they have defined this emotional intelligence as the ability to perceive emotions accurately and recognize the emotions in ourselves and also others. Ability to perceive what kind of emotions or what feelings one is having or I'm having. And I also able to recognize my own emotions. And ability to use emotions to facilitate thinking. When we are having here, suppose you are urgently need of 1 lakh rupees for some emergency surgery, right? If you're not having money on your hand, what you do? You feel sad, right? So emotions always leads to the some expressions. But we need to convert this into thinking. So instead of just feeling sad, we need to think how I'm going to solve this issue, how I can mobilize the resource from different sources. That's what the definition says. So the ability to use emotions to facilitate thinking and guide us to issues that need attention. So that particular issue need our attention, not our emotions. And also ability to understand the emotions, causes, meaning, and relationship through the behavior. Why I am sure? Because I'm not having money. This is the cause. So what I'm behaving, I'm just being shy. And the ability to manage emotions to attain specific goals. If you want to achieve your goal in your life, or if you want to achieve an ambition, you need to have an ability to manage your own emotions and feelings. For example, you are going for a final interview of Public Service Commission, right? And suddenly you are receiving a sad incident or any information through over the phone. Just by listening that information, if you are coming back or if you are not able to perform well in your interview, which will is to fail in your goal. So the ability of managing yourself, even in that situation, I am not crying, or even in that situation, I'm not feeling sad. I could be able to control my own emotions. I could be able to manage my own emotions. And you could able to perform well in that interview so that you can achieve your goals. So the definition says that the ability to manage emotions to attain the specific goals in your life. And again, discussing about the key components of emotional intelligence is the self-awareness. It's an ability to recognize and understand the personal moods and emotions and drives. Who am I? What is my strength? What is my weakness? Or why I feel sleepy? Or why I'm not interested? So understanding the self is one of the key components of emotional intelligence. And the second one is self-management. The ability to control or redirect disruptive impulse and moods. how I'm going to able to control or manage my own emotions. You are going for a supervision in the examination hall, but you are feeling sleepy. If you are not able to manage your sleep, then how will you perform? Right? So the second key component of this emotional quotient is self-management. And the third one is empathy. It is an ability to understand the emotional experience and responses of others. Understanding the problem from others' perspective. If one student is not regularly performing well in all the examinations and always he scores first rank, but in one particular point of time, if he is not performing well, we should not react to that. We need to respond. Why? We should be empathic towards him. And the relationship skills, the ability to build and rapport and manage relationships. Each one has their own different emotions and feelings. Many people, they may not easily mingle with others. So even in that kind of people, also how we are going to build our relationship, how are we going to maintain our relationship with them? So these are the four major key components of emotional intelligence: just self-awareness, self-management, empathy, and relationship skills. So let me give a small more activity to understand the or to manage the emotions and feelings. I request all of you to keenly listen to the activity and respond. You can take 5 minutes time for this activity. Listen to the situation. A group of people traveling to Afghanistan, okay, for a youth exchange program, and you are leading the team. In the team, you are having one old woman and 3 children and one differently abled child, 1 woman and 2 men. This is a combination of team. When you are flying above the Thar desert, your flight crashed, and the time was, what is the time now? Okay, it's 12:30. The time was around 12:30 p.m. Now, all are fell down in the Thar desert. Fortunately, all are safe with small wounded injury. In this situation, you are having the following objects with you, like a mirror, parachute, shoe, jerkin, torchlight, knife, and book about animals in the desert, 1 liter of water, 1 liter of milk, and salt biscuit, and 1 magnetic compass and pistol. In this situation, you are leading the team. What will be the emotions or feelings of those team members? And how will you manage those feelings and emotions? By using the available objects. Is that clear to everyone? In case if you're having any questions regarding this or any doubt, you may unmute yourself and ask me. I'll give 5 minutes time for this exercise. All of you may think, and after that around 12:40, it's 12:35 now, around 12:40 you can share. How will you manage? What will be the emotions of each one? The old women, children, differently abled women and men. What will be their emotions and feelings? And how will you manage those emotions and feelings by using the available objects? So this is
So
what
one doubt.
you need to do.
What about the food?
Yes, please.
So one doubt I have. What about the food? They're not carrying any food?
No, this is the only objects with them. So you need to manage. The food is not available. This is what they are having. So you need to think.
Okay.
So take 5 minutes time, think or work out. And after that, those who are ready, you may share. So 2 things you need to answer. The first one is what will be the emotions of each one? And how are you going to manage those emotions with available resources? Take 5 minutes time, and after that, whoever ready, you can share. Anybody willing to speak now? I need at least a response from minimum 3 participants.
Yes sir, I think कि सबसे पहले हम उनको ना इमोशनली स्ट्रॉन्ग करेंगे. फ्लाइट क्रैश होने के लिए पहले थोड़ा सा वो इस तरह का बिहेवियर उनको रहेगा कि हाँ फ्लाइट क्रैश होने के लिए तैयार है या होगी, गिरने वाली है, क्योंकि अनाउंसमेंट होगी कि आप अपना बेल्ट्स वगैरह बांध लें. तो मुझे लगता है पहले उनको ना इमोशनली स्ट्रॉन्ग करना है, तभी वो अपने आप को सर्वाइव कर पाएंगे. उनकी व्हील पावर हमें स्ट्रॉन्ग करनी है फर्स्टली.
Okay. So how will you make them to strong?
सर ओल्ड लेडी को तो हम पैराशूट दे सकते हैं कि आप जंप कर जाएं, ठीक है, क्योंकि और बाकी जो चिल्ड्रंस है किसी को मिल्क देंगे, किसी को हम लोग क्या कहते हैं लाइक सॉल्ट बिस्किट दे सकते हैं, हम मैग्नेट भी दे सकते हैं, बच्चे उससे खेल सकते हैं, टॉर्च से खेल सकते हैं. तो
Okay, fine.
जी,
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else would like to speak?
this is very confusing question. Very confusing.
मतलब दिखाएगा ऊपर से रिफ्लेक्शन करेगा.
Yes, please. Please continue. See, my question was, what are the emotions of each one, what they will feel at that time, and how will you manage those emotions? Is that clear to everyone? My question is clear to everyone?
Sir, is the same flight crashed?
Sorry?
No, I'm just hoping that they are in different flight and...
No, they all are one team member. They all are team member. They all are traveling in one flight. They all were traveling in one flight and the flight crashed.
So you told the flight crashed and they are all in Thar desert. You told that they are all in. You told that the flight is crashed and all in Thar desert.
Yes.
All. So I don't think their parachute is required. All are safe in Thar desert.
Okay.
So what is the use of the parachute?
No, that all you need to think.
Because once they are safe,
no, my
as you said,
is
all are safe in Thar desert.
They all are fell down in Thar desert. They are in the land. They have fell down from the flight and they are standing in the Thar desert. Okay. So the time is around 12:30 p.m. and these are all the team members, what will be the emotions or feelings of everyone? This is my first question. Second, how will you use the available resources to manage those emotions and feelings?
First of all, according to
Just
me,
think what
they will be feeling
what
that
the
God
emotions
has
of
saved
everyone.
us.
First, you can try to answer the first question.
Yeah.
What will be the emotions of everyone at that time?
According to me, they may say God has saved us, so there is a purpose of life which we have to fulfill.
Okay, fine. Anything else?
सर फर्स्टली तो उन सभी के इमोशंस अपने आप को सर्वाइव करने के लिए
रहेगा ना. Let him complete. After that you may speak.
Okay. Yes. I thought.
Yes, sir. Please, you continue.
Old lady will say that. Yeah, old lady will say, I'm at the fag end of my life, but still God has saved me. Okay. So something or the other, the God wants me to do it. That will be our emotional behavior.
Okay.
The children will say, we have not seen the world, and the God wants to see us the world. The differently abled child may have a different view. He says, though I'm differently abled, I don't want to survive, but still God has saved me because He knows that I can do something.
Okay, sir. Fine. Thank you. Yeah, please. Yes, please. Yes, would you like to continue, sir?
So I finished my first answer.
Yeah, done. Thank you. If anybody would like to speak, please just think of it. When you get an accident, you are fell down. What will be your feelings or emotions at that time? And think how your children emotions will be, or an old lady, or a differently able, or women and men. Just think of it. There is no right or wrong. Just try to think what will be their own feelings or emotions. You can just try to answer at least first questions. Anybody? Some ma'am was speaking. You may speak now, ma'am.
सर आई वाज सेइंग कि सबसे पहले जो उनका इमोशन रहेगा ना वो अपने आप को सरवाइव करने का रहेगा कि हम लोग कैसे अपने डेस्टिनेशन तक पहुंच सकते हैं. तो उनको एक अनजान जगह पे जिस तरह का एक डर रहेगा तो वो रहेगा और एक दूसरे को वो देख के ही अपनी मंजिल तक पहुंच पाएंगे जो भी उनका डेस्टिनेशन रहेगा. जी.
Okay. So as you were saying, some people may get fear. Dar matlab fear, right? And the children may after some time when they fell down after some time, the children may feel thirsty or they may feel hungry, right? And the women may think of it, or again the children may think of how will I go to my home. They may feel sad. Am I right? So think in different each one's their perspective. So what will be the emotions of old women? Okay, now we have understand their own emotions, right? And we also need to think of how are we going to use those available resources to manage their own emotions. And you also are part of the team. You are also there. And how will you handle that particular situation by available resources? And it is a Thar desert, and the time is also 12:30. Okay. So I'm leaving to this to think more of it. You can take a screenshot, or I will also share this PPT to you, and you can work out later on also this. Okay, now let us move on to the next. So far we have discussed about what is emotional intelligence and what is emotional development, right? So basically this emotional intelligence is understanding our own emotions as well as others and managing those emotions. It's simple. Now let us discuss some of the emotional intelligence strategies, right? So as I was given an exercise of having to assess your own emotional intelligence, if you are falling in low emotional intelligence, these strategies may help you to improve your emotional intelligence. right? So when we are having high emotional intelligence, it leads to a happy life. It leads to success in achieving your goals. It is also an indicator of success. So let us learn some of the emotional intelligence strategies which we can follow in our life. The first one is practice self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Understanding on our own self. Who am I? What are the most happiest moment in my life? For what purpose, for what cause I used to be happy? Or for what are the purpose I used to be sad? So we need to understand on we need to understand on self, so that accordingly we can reflect. Okay, so the first aspect is understanding on self, and understand emotions of yours as well as others. What are all my emotions? Like I was saying, different emotions like feeling happy, disgust, or angry, or crying. So understand my own emotions as well as others' emotions. You may ask your children to go to different classes, like different tuitions. Today maths, and again the same day 5 different tuitions if you are sending, and the child may not be willing to go for it. So we need to understand the children's emotions also, why they are not willing to go for different tuitions. They may be willing to spend some time for their playing also, right? So the second aspect is understanding our own emotions and emotions of others, and pay more attention to emotions on daily basis. What was my yesterday emotions? Yesterday you may feel sad because of boring sessions. Today you may feel very bored because of this particular session. You may, tomorrow you may feel happy. It may be a last day of the particular program, right? So we need to pay much attention to the emotions on our daily basis, so that we can also improve our emotional intelligence. And learn to validate own feelings and others. If you feel sleepy, go and sleep. Not during the session. Okay. So generally I'm saying, so try to validate your own feelings. If you feel crying, just cry it. Want to enjoy it. So validate your own feelings. At the same time, we also need to validate the feelings of others. You may feel 1:30 sharply, you may need to go for a lunch, you may feel that. So I also need to validate your own feelings. Like your child may require breakfast at 8 o'clock. Let us understand their own feelings and try to validate. And the students may expect assignment to be given in advance. So let us validate the feelings of others and try to solve whatever is bothering you. Respond to that, or try to solve that instead of reacting to that. For example, your system may not connect when you are trying to join this session on sharply at 10 o'clock morning. There may be a power failure, or your system may not function. There may be some problem in your mobile. So at that point of time, instead of feeling sad or getting angry, try to solve. Instead of bothering, try to solve our problems. If there is no internet, try to connect, recharge immediately. Or if it is not functioning, seek help from the technical person immediately. So always we need to try to solve our problem instead of bothering. And exercise self-regulation. Self-regulation is one of the most important aspects in our life to manage our own feelings and emotions. If you want to be in office at 10 o'clock, so you need to exercise self-regulation, waking up at early morning, having a proper schedule and keeping time or following the time management, which will help you to improve your emotional intelligence. So in case if you are not waking up on time at the early morning, or you are not following your schedule, you are not able to complete, or you are not able to catch the bus on time, which may affect your emotions. And managing negative emotions. This is the biggest problem for many people. Feeling sad, being unhappy. So how to manage those negative emotions? You may listen some music, or you may go to a serene place. You may go to the terrace and just in the evening time and just watch the sky, play with your children. And many people, we may get a negative thoughts while going by bike. I may get an accident immediately, or I may fell down, or my bike may got repaired. So try to think positively. Try to think positively and try to manage the negative emotions by engaging yourself in different activities. Practicing mindfulness. Whatever you like to do it immediately. If you want to play, go and play there. Or you can also engage yourself in gardening. You may like to do some gardening activity, do it. So whatever the activities or aspects which gives happiness to you, you may practice that in your day-to-day life. Some people may be very happy with growing pets. So spend your time with that. Or you may like to read a book, continue with that. So it's important to practice mindfulness in our day-to-day life. I was given an instruction for giving 10 minutes break. Shall we go for now, or should I continue the session? Can anyone guide me?
Sir, as per your comfort, sir.
Okay. So I think we can continue with the session.
Yes, sir, sure, sir. We are here
Yeah,
only.
thank you. Thank you so much. And be mindfulness of our vocabulary. The words which we are using when we are dealing with the children, which may affect their emotions. Sometimes a child may put a water. So instead of getting angry, we may try to clean that. So instead of reacting to the activity, we can just respond to that. And we need to be very clear about using our vocabulary. So we can't, if you are scolding a child every time, you always do like this. You always waste the water. You always waste food. It may again lead to the same activity. So when we are using some vocabulary, we need to be very careful. We need to carefully choose the words which are using in front of the children or in front of others. The way we are communicating to others. Practice empathy. It's always better to see the problems from their point of view. If your student is not able to submit the assignment on time, instead of giving a punishment or giving a minus mark, or instead of not accepting that, we may try to understand the reasons why they were not able to submit the assignment on time, why they were not able to come to school on time or college on time. If it is valid, then we need to accept that. Or we can also help them to solve those problems. And know the emotional stresses. Some people always make stress on you. Always they may scold, or they may try to find fault on your activity, or they may find fault on your process, whatever you. So try to know that people who are emotional stressors, who are disturbing you, and please try to avoid those people. Okay, so we need to identify who are all those emotional stresses and avoid them in your life. And bounce back from the adversity. This is the most important to lead into your successful life or getting into a normal life, right? So many times we may have a negative experience or negative incident in our life. So instead of thinking always about that particular incident or a particular bad experience, we need to try to bounce back. That will happen because of practice only. Feeling the, okay? So unless if you are not bounced back from that particular adversity, it will lead to a lot of psychological issues. I'll take up an example of disasters for this particular strategy. Like as you all know, Odisha is one of the most resilient state we can say. When yearly at least 3 times they used to face disasters like a cyclone. But the students from Odisha, they used to come back to the school within next day or next 2-3 days. They are not just bothering or worrying about the disaster and the problems at their home. Because the students of the Odisha they are resilient. They know that it happens in their life, and because of the practical trainings, they could able to bounce back better very easily. So similarly, in day-to-day our life, we may face a lot of challenges and issues or any bad experience. We need to try to bounce back from the particular adversity. And utilize an assertive style of communication. Respond instead of reacting to the conflict. This also we have already discussed. Utilize active listening skills. Many times when we are dealing with the students or our own children, we were not listening to them. This is one of the major issues. So when you want to improve your emotional intelligence, means when you want to understand others' emotions and feelings, we need to have an active listening skill. If you are not listening to the students, the opposite person or third party, then you may not able to understand their own emotions and feelings. So this is one of the most important strategy to understand others' feelings. Right? So a student is coming to share his problems to you in a staff room, but you are just sitting on the computer and you are on work. Yes, tell me. You are just listening and doing on your own work. The child or the student, they may not refer or after sharing the problems with you also. So if you want to understand really with their problems and emotions, we need to have an active listening skills. And when you are communicating with others, have an eye contact with them so that you can easily listen to their emotions. And practice ways to maintain a positive attitude. How will you gain a positive attitude? For example, many people used to say to me, I'm having an attitude of, I'm feeling that I may fail in this examination. And they may say that whenever I'm driving a bike, I feel fear that I may get an accident. So when you're getting such negative attitude, we need to change our attitude. How can we change our thought process or make into the positive attitude? There are various strategies. For example, if you are having a less confident, always when you are waking up in the early morning, always try to say, I am the best in the world. I can achieve whatever I want. This is my day. I will definitely achieve this. And whatever you like, that you do it. So that will help you to gain a positive attitude. Always maintain a relationship with the people who are motivating you. Always have a relationship with people who are appreciating you. Of course, criticism also is important, but many people always try to focus. In that situation, we need to always avoid. So we also need to take the critic as well as and try to analyze why. If someone says in this particular point of time what you have done, it was wrong. Okay, let us take that critic and think about it, why it was happened. Or you may try to explain that why it was right at that particular time. So the final decision will be yours because you only knows the situation, right? And utilize the management skills like a time management or resource management, management of human resources. So always utilize what are the management skills which you're having to understand the emotions of others. Be approachable and sociable. Nowadays, the students are from diverse background and from different places with different linguistic, with different culture and different behaviors. They are coming to in what particular class. So when they are coming to the new place, they may have a different experiences or they may have a different emotions and feelings which may they want to share. So being a teacher, we need to be very easily approachable and sociable to the students so that they will easily come and share their own feelings and emotions to you. If you are not being an approachable, then you cannot understand the emotions of others. There are different types of people. Like the students may think that I don't go to their room at all. Means they are not easily approachable. Some students may think that I will not speak to those teachers. Then you cannot understand the emotions of others. So we need to be approachable to everyone, or sociable to everyone. Even you may give us every day, this is 1 hour time for meeting the students, to listening to their problems. That will make you easily approachable. And sharpen your social skills always, so that you can, when your social skills are like a sharpened, so that you can easily mingle with others. When you are freely speaking with other students, you can come to know their emotions and feelings so that you can manage or you can respond to them. Improve non-verbal communication and become sensitive to that of others. So not being having only merely a communication, the improving non-verbal communication with others will help. For example, if your student is having a problem, instead of just saying it's okay, I'm there to help you, just touch them and say that don't worry, I'm there. That will help. If your own child is crying, you try to hold them. That will help. So non-verbal communication with children and students is also important to understand their own emotions and feelings, which is missing in nowadays. Even many times now, the children were not able to spend time with their parents. Early morning school starts, the student may go to schools. and after that you may go for your own profession, and when you are coming back they may go for a tuition. So they are not finding time at all to meet each other. And how will you establish your non-verbal communication with your child? So establishing non-verbal communication is most important to understand the emotions and feelings of others. And prepare for facing feelings. And you know your son is with you or your children is with you, and next year he will be going for abroad. He will be going to abroad for his own studies, and you'll be missing him. In that situation, you have to be prepared for facing those feelings. Okay, so now I have a smartphone, I have a Skype call, so I can be in contact with him at any time. So regularly I'll be speaking to him. So like this, we need to be prepare ourselves for facing each feelings or situations. And rehearse how you like to handle the difficult emotions. For example, today or tomorrow you may not be having enough money to manage. So in that situation, how will you manage? So have a rehearsal. So whatever you like to do or you like to handle that particular emotions, try to practice. Try to have a rehearsal on that. Take action to reach a new goal or milestone. We may have certain ambition or we may have certain goal in our life. For example, you want to make your institute as A++, not accreditation. But just having own feelings alone will not help. So we need to take certain actions to reach those new goals and milestones. Right? You may want to make your son for getting an MBBS seat. So not having an abyss alone will not help. So we need to take certain action to reach that particular goal. Apologies is one of the most important practice which we need to have in our life. If you found yourself, yes, this is my mistake, please ask apologies. It may be a child, it may be an adolescent, it may be your junior or senior or your own student. So try to submit your apologies when you realize it's your own mistakes. Right? That will help you to understand your own feelings and emotions to them. As well as you can also help them to come out from those emotions. And similarly, forgiveness. A student or your own child or your junior have done something wrong, they are asking apologies to you. We also need to be ready to forgive them. I mean to say, yes, just I forgotten that. It's okay, fine. Like we need to change our behaviors and forgiveness. That will help you to control your own emotions on your own as well as others. And give specific prize to everyone. If you are seeing someone, yes, today your dress is good, fine. They feel happy. You are looking good today. Yeah, I've seen that this shirt is very nice. Like we need to specifically prize each and every one. That will help you to improve your emotional intelligence. If you're finding a student, yes, good, today I wake up earlier. Yes, this is good marks. Like we need to always give a specific prize to our people. And learn continuously. Learning is a continuous process. It's not just one time. We need to learn continuously. Every day we may get something new. We may learn something new from others. Take time to pause. Whole day we may work, right? Whole day we may work and we may engage in different activities, and we may involve in various activities. So we need to spend at least some time to keep it pass. So for that, sit alone for 5 minutes. Don't think about anything. Just keep your mind blank. Just watch moon in the night. Just watch early morning sun. Or just watch your kids. Or just observe outside what happens. So always we need to spend some time to take pause. Nurture relationship with others. Always having good relationship with others will help you to control and manage your own emotions. When you're having good relationship with others, you can share your own feelings and emotions. When you're sharing with others, it will reduce your burden. It will give a certain release to your mind. So I think you all feel more giving a lot of strategies for maintaining or improving your own emotions, right? So let us do a small activity. Let me see how many people are responding to that. Different emotions are shown here. You can just tell, I request all the participants one by one, you can just guess what this emotion is. You can take from the left, first, second, third, fourth, second row, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. You can just try to find what this emotion is. Anybody would like to try? Is there everyone or gone for a lunch? Try to find what are those emotions here. So in this case,
Camera switch on.
First line.
Yes, someone was telling me.
Sir, first line in black.
Okay.
Black T-shirt. The emotion is like smiling.
Okay.
He's happy.
Okay.
He or she is happy.
Fine.
Right,
Yeah.
sir? Second one is sad in red. And third one is little bit confused.
Okay, fine.
And fourth is just shocking. We can say that surprise for you, surprising face.
Fine. Okay.
Emotion is like surprising. Am I right?
Yeah, please continue.
Okay.
Okay, maybe
Let me read this.
Yeah, anybody? Yes, anybody? Next row, next second row, anybody would like to try? Same person and anybody else also you can try.
First surprise, sir.
Second row first, okay.
Sai.
Sir, first and last line are the same. Amit ji, just a minute, please. Sorry for intervention.
Yes.
First and last line expressions and emotions are same, sir.
Okay, you just guess it. Let's see the answer later. Okay, fine. Yes, you please continue. Yes, sir, please you continue.
Second Sai, sir. Second Sai.
Okay.
Third maybe confusion.
Fine. Okay.
Or last is very happy.
Okay. Yeah, don't think whether it's right or wrong. Just try to guess what this emotion is. Okay. Yeah, next person. Or you may also continue the same. Third row. Third row. Anybody? There is a slight difference between each emotions. Third row, anybody or same person also may continue. Okay, let me show the answers. You can just guess it. You can see it. It's given here. You can check. Those who have answered, you can just check it. what was that emotion. You can put your own score now. The first one is about happy, shared, angry, excited, afraid, shyness, guilty, tired, jealous, loud one, hopeful, bored, surprised. But I am finding that now you people all are feeling bored. I could able to guess your own emotions now.
No, sir, not at all, sir. We are not getting
fine.
bored, sir. No,
Okay,
not
fine.
at all.
Sorry and okay. These are the different emotions. It's just to bring your attention to the session. I have given a small activity in between the session. Okay, so I'll take another 5 minutes and I'll end up the session. And after that, we can last 10 minutes we can or 5 minutes we can spend for question answer session. So giving and seeking the direct and constructive feedback about you or your activity or about others will also help you to improve your own emotions and feelings. In case if you are finding something wrong with your student, you can give a constructive feedback, right? And it's not finding fault, giving feedback. That is also the way we are giving the feedback. That is also most important. So whenever we are trying to give a feedback, we need to make it always first share the positive aspects and then what areas to improve. Or instead of saying it's a bad or it's avoided, you can say that this can be improved, right? So always seek a constructive feedback from others as well as give a constructive feedback to others. And don't blame oneself on others. If something bad happens, something wrong happens, don't blame others or blame yourself. We need to find the solution for that, why it happened or how to avoid that particular things in future. And practice breathing, relaxing breath and stimulating breathing. This will also help you to manage your own emotions, right? Or change your own moods, right? So you may also learn yoga or breathings or pranayama and practice in your day-to-day life to improve your emotional intelligence. Learn to trust intuition. See, this is one of the best skill to achieve what you want. So learn to trust your own intuition, what your inner thoughts, inner mind says. If it says that, definitely you can get a postdoctoral fellowship or you can get a teacher award in this year. So try to learn to trust your own intuition, what is your inner thoughts and inner feeling says. That will help you to improve your emotional intelligence. Learn to quiet mind. And previously I was also saying that try to spend some time to pass. We also need to learn to quiet our mind. Keep on thinking or keep on doing work or engaging yourself in various activity. We also need to learn how to quiet or keep our mind calm for some time. That will also help you to improve your emotional intelligence. Sometimes at least every day, at least 5 minutes, keep everything away, right? Just sit calm and relax. And you need to believe in yourself and we need to realize that we can manage our own emotions. I'm sorry to say, I am having confidence even if close relatives or something bad happens even in my life. Within next day, I could able to bounce back. I can manage my own emotions. I can control myself. So like this, we need to realize how we can manage our own emotions even at any point of time or anything bad happens or any negative incidents happening in our life. Talk about feelings. Try to speak to others what you feel, what is in your mind. Try to share your thoughts to others. Okay? And acknowledge your emotions. So don't try to control. If you are seeing a friend after a long time, immediately feel happy on whatever you want. If you want to hug, go and hug, or if you want to shake a hand and share your experience. So try to acknowledge your emotions and think about how you think and you feel about the particular things, and take an example of each incident. In that point of time, what I was thinking, or how I was reacting, what was my feelings. So think, so that will help you to improve yourself. Okay, yesterday when the student was not listening to my session, what was my feelings or what was my emotions? Think of it and feel of it, so that you will realize what was the mistake happens to that particular time and why you were not able to manage your own emotions at that point of time. You can come up with a strategy or solution for managing this. Choose your words choose your words carefully. So before speak to anyone, try to choose the words whatever you are using, because many times the words which we are using in our life which disturbs others' emotions. Okay, there are a large number of strategies which is given here. So let me stop here. So in this session so far, we have discussed about what is actually emotional intelligence and emotional development and personal development. And we have also discussed various strategies for the emotional development, right? And in between, we had a exercise to understand our own emotions and also exercise for understanding the emotions of others, right? So with this, let me stop my session, and if any questions, we may spend some time for this question answer, or any doubts, or any reflections on the session.
सर नमस्कार.
Yes sir, please.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा. जब हम अपने इमोशंस जैसे दुख के हैं वो हम दबा लेते हैं, तो क्या हमारी बॉडी पर उसका कुछ नेगेटिव इफेक्ट पड़ता है? जैसे ओवरकम पा लेते हैं हम, लेकिन क्या उसके जो साइड इफेक्ट है हमारी बॉडी में नजर आते हैं?
Can anyone translate? I understand something. I could able to understand your question, but not exactly. We are getting something negative emotions, but I couldn't get your. Can anyone translate the question? I'm sorry for that. Or if you can ask in English, please.
If we have sad feelings about anything, then what would be side effect on our body? If we hide these sad feelings and emotions,
yes.
And
yes, for example, something bad happened in your life. If you are thinking only about those issues, and if you are not able to bounce back from that particular issues, it will affect your mental health. The first thing, if you see, you may not able to perform well. You may not able to cook food in your home. You may not able to concentrate on your children. You may not able to perform well in your academic, right? So finally, it will affect your physical health and mental health. So when your physical health and mental health is not good, then finally it affects in your performance. So always we need to try to bounce back from that particular incident. So how can we come back from that situation? So we need to share your feelings and thoughts with your friends and spend time with what you like, or spend time with what you want to do, like listening to music, or visiting to some new places, right? Or speaking to your friends, or spending time with your children, or practicing yoga. So we need to follow certain practices like this so that you can bounce back from those negative incidents. I hope you are satisfied with my answer, but I don't know, since you are also you got yes, the answer.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other?
Any other participant? Any queries? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
सर थैंक यू सो मच सर, दिस इज रियली वेरी इंफॉर्मेटिव सेशंस। इमोशनल बिहेवियर तो हमने बहुत सालों बाद पढ़ा है आज, इससे पहले तो कभी साइकोलॉजी पढ़ा था तो तब देखा था हमने कि सुना भी था और समझा भी था कि इमोशनल बिहेवियर किस तरह से होता है। तो बहुत ही अच्छा रहा और फीडबैक सब पार्टिसिपेंट डाल ही देंगे मैसेजेस में। तो थैंक्स अ लॉट सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग हियर। आई डॉक्टर रेणु चौधरी ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ HRDC एंड ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट्स सर, thank you so very much sir for coming here, for being a part of FIP6 sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to all the participants, and my special thanks to Dr. Safali Nagpal, my elder sister, for giving this wonderful opportunity to meet here and meet all of you and make this session. So once again, I convey my gratitude to Nagpal ma'am and all the participants. I hope you all enjoy the session, but I don't know how much you are enjoying.
Thank you so much sir.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू सर।
तो ऑल दी पार्टिसिपेंट्स अभी यहाँ शॉर्ट ब्रेक लेते हैं, लंच ब्रेक, और हम 2 बजे फिर से रिसेंबल होंगे। सो रीअसेंबल होने के लिए हम 2 बजे फिर इसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे, ठीक है? हैव योर लंच।
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, Balu, so very much for joining with us, and it was really very, very, involved session. Lot of activities and to think over. It was a brainstorming session, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for an opportunity, and nice to meet you after a long time.
शिफाली मैम एक लंच ब्रेक ले रहे हैं अभी, 2 बजे फिर से
लंच ब्रेक ले रहे हैं। 2 बजे डॉक्टर पवन जो है हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे टू टॉक अबाउट RTI, सम रिफ्लेक्शंस, इसके ऊपर बात करेंगे वो।
जी मैम, लंच ब्रेक के लिए बोला है तो 2 बजे रीअसेंबल होते हैं, ठीक है?
फाइन।